Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. I've made a new pick a card read for you. It's the Love Tarot this time, a full Celtic cross love spread to find out what's going on in your love life. Now, I've made 3 readings here, the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Each one of them has got a deeper dive to it. That's an extended reading that goes with it. So if you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of these readings, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. I have 2 drawers for a free private reading with me every single month now. There's 2 ways to enter that. First way is to get the deeper dive from any of these pick a card reads. You'll all be entered into a drawer, so good luck with that. And the other way is to be a subscriber to my channel. Click like on this video and leave a comment. Now you can enter as many times as you like each month, so good luck with winning that. You can find your timestamps to fast forward to your reading in the comments and in the description box below. So all you need to do now is take your pick. We've got Chicken Cat with us as well. She's very sick, unfortunately. I don't think she's got a very long last, so I'm being her carer at the moment. Take good care of her in her last weeks. Would you like the crystal, which is out with the Strength card? Would you like the flower, which is out with a Tower? It's upside down. Flower with a tower and it's rhyming. Or would you like the shell? And the shell is out with the 3 of Pentacles. So take your pick now. Don't forget to click like on this video. Click on that subscribe button if you're new, leaving a comment to get yourself into that drawer too. And thank you so much for doing that. I do a daily energy update every single day of the year. And I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads. Now you can book in for those 1-question readings on my website, behealing.com. You find a link for that in the description box below and also one up there too. I will do your reading right at the start of the next live show and then send you the link to the replay. And so you don't need to come live if you don't want to or if you can't make it. Now, you can also choose to come live as well. You can click on Be Healing down there on my channel and you'll find the next show, laying in wait, and you can click on set a reminder and come along live and book while I'm live too, up to you. I also offer private readings as well from my website, behealing.com. You can find a link for that in the description box below and also one up there too. Get those out within 48 hours if you're ordering them, and you can put your questions for your reading in by clicking the Contact Us page after you've booked in on my website. Put your questions in there. So crystal, flower or shell, take your pick now. I'll see you in your reading. So if you chose the crystal along with the Lightseers Tarot deck, then this one's for you. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross love spread, find out what's going on in your love life, crystals. Now, as usual, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, we're popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. And don't forget, with every deeper dive read that you purchase, you'll get an entry into the draw for the month for a free private reading with me as well, worth 160 Australian dollars. You can also enter another draw for that too by clicking like on this video, being a subscriber to my channel and leaving a comment while you're watching it. So what's this reading all about? Well, you got the Strength card come out with the Page of Wands. Okay, so the Page of Wands is about, pages are about like the initial contact with someone when someone catches your eye. Knights are about movement towards somebody, but the page is just like catching someone's eye. Now with this Strength card, it's often about strength and courage, but it's also about defensiveness too, and that's what I'm getting this time. This is about defensiveness. So there's some kind of someone catches your eye, or you've caught someone's eye, and then a possible defensiveness, possible strength, or like a brick wall that comes up in you perhaps to that. Perhaps there's that feeling of like, oh no, here we go again. This isn't going to end well. It never does. It could be that kind of a feeling that has you putting a brick wall up. What's hindering you here? What's holding you back? What's crossing you? What's crossing you? Ace of Wands, passion, the start of passion. Okay, now while I was tuning in then, while I was shuffling, I was getting a kind of a battle, a feeling like you need to be strong, like you need to almost battle them to be stronger than them kind of thing. It feels like because we've got Wands energy here, and Wands is all about passion, you could be getting a lot of attention from people which is purely physical, and that has you in a straight away defensive mode, like I'll need to battle this person to get what I want within a relationship. I want it to be more than that kind of thing. And when it starts off with passion, yes, very enticing, right? It's very enticing because we want that too. But you could be pulling back from that and putting up boundaries to that because you want it to be more than that, right? And so that could be a battle for you. It's like to put up your defenses, to slow it down, to see if it's more than that. But it's very tempting to you as well to go for that initial passion kind of thing. Okay, so it's tempting, but you want more than that. And so you have to be strong, is what this reading is saying. And it comes across as defensiveness, perhaps pushing the other away. On the face of it, so how do things appear on the face of it? Four of Swords, you've been healing from something after walking away from something. Eight of Cups. From the past, Six of Cups. So, yes, you're still kind of wounded, and that's why your defenses come up, right? So it appears like similar situations to a past situation that you were in are coming back around again. One which wounded you and you've had to heal from it. One that you had to walk away from. And each time you get reminded of that, like, I don't want it that way again. So it could be a time where you just went with it, you know, you felt that passion for someone, you went for it, and perhaps it didn't turn into what you wanted it to turn into, and it really hurt you because it didn't. It could have been one of those short-term relationships that kind of turned into a longer-term short-term relationship. Do you know what I mean? And makes you think that it's going to be a long-term relationship when it isn't. It's still very much got that player quality to it. You had to walk away from that and then heal from it. What's really behind that, though? That's how it appears on the surface of it. You've healed from something in the past. Ace of Swords. It's in your head is what I'm hearing. Tell me more about that, Ace of Swords. Tell me more about what's in the head here. Okay. Choosing. So the choice, it's not about that. It's about this. So from the Ace of Swords, I got, it can often be the aha card. So it's like a negative aha. It's like you've come up with a negative conclusion to what things mean or something like that. So it has you, I don't know what to choose, and it has you in internal conflict. So instead of going with the flow, when you feel something, you're like, I have to get my head involved with it because I know that there's this subtext or this meaning that's going on. It has me conflicted with myself, unable to go with the flow, unable to make decisions of what it is that I want. So yes, you've through this healing process, you've come up with a negative deduction, a negative conclusion, idea that has you very much in your head, but it has you in conflict with yourself, in your heart and inside, unable to go with the flow. So what this reading is saying is that you're kind of out of alignment with yourself now, unable to go with the flow because you've intellectualized something that you healed from, and you've got a rule book perhaps for yourself now of like, I've got to be strong, I can't go there, I've got to be strong to get what it is that I want. But that is actually keeping you out of the flow now. So too many defenses is what this is saying. Too much defensiveness now, based on an idea that you've got. Now, we can't control things with our mind. Like, we can't make something be what it's not by changing the way that we approach it. We can recognize something and walk away from it for sure, but we can't change something to be something else with what we're doing. So if someone approaches you and they're a player, they're going to be a player, right? It's up to us to ascertain whether they are or not, rather than try and change it from being a player situation to something else. That's impossible, but we can recognize. Now, can you recognize before you even get into it? No, not really, because any kind of a relationship is going to start off with a passion, right? That's that connection. It's the Page of Wands. It's the eye-to-eye contact kind of thing, right? It's like, I like you, you like me kind of thing. And then there's an approach, but there's not an approach when there's that defense up. When someone puts that defense up, there isn't an approach that happens. And so that flow can't start to find out whether they are or not, like what it is that they actually want. So someone in the past has approached you with passion. You went with it. You were going with the flow. But it turned out that they were a player you didn't kind of notice. And you went along with it, perhaps having higher hopes for it than was actually available, you know. And now you're shut down to even going with the flow, to starting off a relationship in that same way. Okay, so recent past energies. Recent past energies, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, the end of a chapter, the start of a new chapter, Ace of Cups, falling in love. Okay, and so things might have changed. Someone might have come on the scene where that appeared very different to you. But with these energies of kind of being closed off, I'm very doubtful as to whether they would have actually approached you or not. But there were feelings there, perhaps on both sides. And it was a different situation. They felt like a different kind of a person to you. Near incoming energies, near future energies. Two of Pentacles. Balancing things up, weighing things up, balancing things up, getting into balance. Okay, so this reading is kind of saying you're out of balance at the moment. You've got too many defenses up, and yes, it's understandable because of what you've been through, but this path, this tactic, this approach isn't going to work because it's stopping you from actually getting into relationships in the first place, in the natural flow of relationships. So this is about the Page of Wands and strength. You've been kind of defensive and strong in the face of anyone that kind of looks at you with heart-shaped eyes, you know. What else is this reading about? Three of Wands, waiting for the perfect time or waiting for the perfect person. So you're kind of waiting for the perfect approach. Do you know what that actually is? Is there a perfect approach? Or do we just have to like be attracted to someone, then find out who they are by getting into something with them to get to know them? The Page goes to the Knight, and there's that actual approach made, and we start something off. Doesn't have to be a lot. What are your fears? Ten of Swords, painful endings, of course. You don't want to go back through it. So you've been through a really painful thing here, for sure, in the past. You don't want to go back through that again, and you're worried that you're manifesting it again. Perhaps with your focus, continued focus on it, you're worried that you're manifesting that again. Okay, what are your hopes? Your hopes are? Your hopes? Two of Cups, a love offer. A love offer to come your way, to someone to come and like ask you out and give you like a certain love offer. Probably in the approach that you want, right? Whatever that is. And 10 of Wands, to put your burdens down. To not be so burdened. So this has been weighing heavy on you, right? Trying to figure this out. Trying to figure out how to get into a decent relationship, because after time and time again of it not working out, you know? To put those burdens down so it's not so hard anymore. Well, let's get your outcome cards out. So what's the outcome to all of this then? I'm going to get a progression of outcome cards out, about 6 or 7 cards out. I'll be revealing the first one in this reading, but the rest of them will be revealed in the deeper dive read. So if you do want more, if this sounds like it is your story or could be a story, you might want to get that for those reveals. But in that, I'll also be getting cards out of these decks back here on the shelves to get further into this, get some guidance for you, and get to perhaps into some energies of someone coming your way. But your cards are coming out very slowly. You've got 3. What next? What next? What next? And if we don't have someone coming in the near future, what I want to go into is that past relationship, this one that it's talking about, and what the lessons were in all of that, so that you can kind of put it in its rightful place instead of it impinging. You know, it's still causing problems for you now. Bad enough that you went through that breakup, right, without it's still causing problems now. 4, and then what? 5. Okay. And if there is someone new showing up here in your cards in the future, then I'll be getting cards out for them too. Find out what that's all about. who they are. Okay, okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outcome cards here. Starting off with the 5 of Cups. So this is regrets. It's regrets. It's like thinking back and like, I've got regrets about this. Seeing what's kind of gone, what's been wasted, having regrets about that. Perhaps you keep on having further and further regrets as wasted opportunities go past you. You're attracted to someone and it never eventuates to anything because they can't approach you because your defense is up. You know, that constantly going on in the regret. So I think this kind of regret and perhaps facing it like something needs to change here in me so that I can let someone in is the start of your outcome here. Okay, so if that sounds like it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. If you do, I will be popping a link for it up there. In fact, I'll do that right now. And there's a link in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. And it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now that email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. Do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the crystal on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device, and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click on that subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment to get yourself put in that draw for a free private reading with me. It's drawn every month. And if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive for an entry into another draw for a free private reading with me, then I will see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the flower along with the Muse Tarot, then this one's for you. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross Tarot love spread and find out what's going on in your love life, flowers. Now, as usual, flowers, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So what's this reading all about? Don't forget, you can enter into a prize draw for a free private reading with me worth 160 Australian dollars by clicking like on this video, being a subscriber to my channel, and leaving a comment while you're watching this. So what's this reading all about? It's all about the Tower. Oh no. Something falling apart, or a shock, a surprise. That's the only card that came out as well, so no clues about what that is just yet. But Tower moment. The Tower moment is generally happens when the universe throws something our way because we've not been following the signs. We've been ignoring the signs. And so the universe needs to get involved. It's like, she's not listening. I'm going to have to like throw this thing at her instead, or force it to happen, you know. It's not comfortable when the towers come, generally. What's hindering you in this? Heartbreak and healing. Wow, what about that? 3 voices and 4 voices. So heartbreak that you've been through, healing from that. It's a need for healing. Okay, so a Tower moment. 4 voices, 3 voices. In need of healing. Perhaps something that you hadn't healed already. Something that you need to heal. How do things appear on the surface? You're strong. You're strong, you can handle this, you've got this. I'm getting like someone that is putting a brave face on it, not crying when really you're crying inside. Okay. Now, some of you guys, you might be like avoiding this healing. You might be pretending that you're not feeling this and that you don't need healing and you're fine and it's okay, you're over it anyway and you don't feel it. You know, that whole kind of pushing it down thing that we do sometimes, instead of feeling it and healing it. Because 3 voices, 4 voices is feeling it and then healing and then realizing I need to heal from this. I need to take a step back. I need to love and nurture myself. But strong on the surface of it, it's kind of not that, is it? It's putting a brave face on it and going, no, I'm all right. No, it didn't hurt me. No, I'm fine. Kind of thing that we do. What's really behind that? 6 of inspiration. Winning. Being seen to win. Page of emotions. What's really behind this strength is being seen to win. Page of emotions. Like in your heart or something. Like how can I explain this? So you're being strong so that you can be perceived that you're winning. Oh, good jump, Tiki. Oh, she's getting a bit stronger. Perceived to win, but page of emotions is like a fantasy. Okay, so you've been through a situation and you're putting a good front on it, a good face on it, kind of thing. Like, no, I'm not hurting, so that you can be perceived by others to be winning. So it's almost like this person hurt me, but I'm not going to show it because I want to come out. You know, I'm not going to give them the pleasure of seeing me broken, kind of thing. But it's a fantasy. Page of Emotion says it's a fantasy that you're winning. You're not winning if you don't heal from something, right? There's nothing wrong with admitting that we're hurt. Nothing wrong with that at all. Trust and reading. So recent past energies. Recent past energies. You got the Emperor. Divine masculine kind of an energy. So someone came into your life. Divine masculine kind of an energy. Perhaps you thought a lot of this person and thought that it was going to be much better than it was, perhaps. What's coming into your life? So near future energies. You've got the Four of Inspiration and the Hermit. So the Hermit is about pulling our energy back so that we can build a stronger foundation in ourselves. Now, the strong foundations, the Four of Inspiration card, it's like putting ourselves back together so that we're strong and sturdy again. It's like the Four of Inspiration is like 4 table legs. The table is really strong if it's standing strong. Do you know what I mean? If it's got that integrity, like foundation, strong foundation, something can stand strong. But if you're not strong in yourself, like with self-love and feeling good within yourself, then anything that comes from that place is not going to be strong either. We can't like get into a relationship from like a wounded, wobbly state and expect it to be good, right? We've got to piece ourselves back together. So this reading is kind of saying, but you can't like, you've got to do this. 3 of Voices, 4 of Voices, like realize you are hurt and you do need healing. Page of Voices, someone's watching you. Someone's noticed you, right? But the advice here is don't go into this because the Hermit, you need to pull back and get your solid foundations first. If you get into something when you are on shaky ground like that within yourself, so feeling vulnerable, feeling wounded still, but putting a brave face on it and all of that kind of thing, really it's not going to have a good outcome. You can't get something good from that kind of an energy. As much as we want to believe the movies and all of that, when you can be wounded and in a complete mess, and then the knight in shining armor comes in, who loves you out of it, who can compensate for it, that is codependency. That's not going to happen in real life. It's just not. We're going to get a match to who we are. So the vulnerability, either that we're pretending isn't there, either attracts in someone and then we let them in, someone who wants to take advantage of that vulnerability, or someone equally as vulnerable that doesn't want to admit it either and has got a lot of, you know, emotional issues going on and all of that kind of thing. So there is a need to kind of withdraw and heal yourself here and get yourself back to that solid footing again. I mean, you'll have seen it in other people, right? And perhaps in yourself too. When you're in a vulnerable place and you need external validation, and because you're feeling wobbly in yourself, and you just like need people to tell you that they love you, and you need that validation. So if they don't like you, then it crumples you. That needy place of getting out there again when someone's got their eye on you, it's not going to be good, is it? It's not going to be good. So this is all about a tower. Things falling apart. What else is this reading about? It's also about your happiness, and it's about your inner child being happy. So what's going to make your inner child happy? What does your inner child really want? That part of you that's still a little girl, little boy. This is about your true happiness. The wounded path is a path to healing, eventually to our happiness, but only if we go through that healing first. It's got to be faced up to. You know, there's been so much. I don't think it's around so much anymore, but that whole spiritual bypass thing was around a lot in the last, say, 30 years. a lot of teachings just like, just get over it, just focus on the positive and all of that kind of, just forgive, you know. No, there's like gnarly healing to get through, and it's not easy. It's not easy to face that stuff. It's not easy to like admit that we're wounded and to face that side of us and actually do something about it and delve deep and like, what is really hurting? Where's the origin of this inside of me? You know, that kind of stuff. It's hard, and it requires us to stop doing those things that cause us to bypass, and that can be drinking alcohol, you know, all the things that we use to numb ourselves. I've stopped doing all that kind of stuff now. And on Saturday I had the terrible sad news that my lovely cat here is dying, and so she hasn't got long left now. She's in renal failure, and it was so sad, and I wanted to buy a bottle of wine on the way home after I'd been to the vets, and and it's like, wow, I want to drink my feelings away, and I haven't done that for a long time. So sometimes we have to do that. It's like realize what we're numbing with, and it could be food, it could be anything really, so that we can actually face things, and that can be quite, takes a lot of courage to go there and to face it, and not to numb ourselves, to actually sit with those emotions. That's what the 3 voices, 4 voices is about. Okay, what are your fears? Fears. 10 of inspiration, burdens of it all. It's heavy on your shoulders, this. Might appear like other people don't have it so hard. Why is it so hard? Burdensome. Why do you have to do so much work to get it? Other people can get into relationships and you don't manage to do it. Okay, 8 of emotions and the Ace of materials. Walking away from a big offer. You're fearing like missing out on a big offer, or walking away from a big offer. Saying no to it. Perhaps you have done that already and you're kicking yourself for that, or you feel like you did that. Perhaps it's something recent that's happened with this Tower moment. Perhaps someone's shown up in your life and it's fallen apart, and you thought this could have been big, this could have been good, and it's... Okay, so what are your hopes? Hopes and wishes. Hopes and wishes. For your intuition, for you to tap into your intuition, and for you kind of to know about people beforehand and kind of get like that 6th sense about someone and about your choices. It's about getting in the flow, the High Priestess. Be in tune with your intuition, just kind of being in tune, really. It's the 10 of emotions too, so you're hoping for the happily ever after. Yes. Okay. Let's get your outcome cards out. So I'm going to reveal the first outcome card that I get out in this reading here. But the rest of them, because I'm going to get another maybe 5 or 6 out, so we get a progression, see where this is going, are going to be revealed in the deeper dive reading, that extended reading. Now, I'll also be getting cards out of these decks back here as well to give you some advice in all of this. And also, if you've got anyone coming in here to find out about their energies too, perhaps get some messages from them if it's applicable as well. Get some timings out if it's applicable too. Okay. 3, what next? What next? And don't forget, if you get that deeper dive read, you'll be getting an entry into the prize draw from all the people that have got those deeper dive reads each month for a private reading with me. So you could win that. If you're lucky, you're feeling lucky. And 1 more, please, or 2 more. Thank you. 3 more. What? Okay. 3 more. You got a lot of cards coming out, so the guides want to talk a lot about what is coming in for you. You got 8. My God. You usually get 6, but you got 8. So first card out, you got the Page of Materials, and then all of those. Page of Materials in your outcome. So this is like an idea, a fresh idea, a fresh look on things, an idea that you might manifest something. It's a fresh thing, this. It's a new idea. How else can I put it? Perhaps what you were trying to manifest before, you're like, oh, I can see that I didn't really want that kind of thing. I'm going to try and manifest this instead. It's that kind of thing where you have like an aha that what you were going for isn't what you want, what you truly want, what you really want. Tell me what you want, what you really want. And you're going to realize what it is that you need to kind of look for. And that idea is planted in your mind. And that's the start of it. And then you've got these. If you want to find out what those are, if that sounds like it is your story, could be a story, you want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you were see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the flower on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into another draw for a free private reading with me as well at the end of the month. And if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the shell, and this one's for you, shells, let's find out about your love life with a full Celtic Cross Tarot love spread using the Tarot of Mystical Moments here. I was going to call it mythical moments, but it's not, it's mystical. So as usual, shells, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that it is your story, it could be a story, you want it to be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get straight into your reading. And don't forget, you can enter into a prize draw by clicking like on this video, being a subscriber to my channel, and leaving a comment while you're watching this. And another prize draw by also getting that deeper dive read if you're interested in that. So, shells. What's this reading all about? It's about plans. Three of Pentacles is about building something with someone else, and about planning with someone else too. So it's about plans. I've got plans with someone, or plans to see someone perhaps. Let's get together with them. Travel, it could be. What's crossing you in this? Five of Swords. There's a bit of conflict around this. What's crossing you? Could be a battle with your person here, but it doesn't have to be. It could be internal conflict, this. So perhaps you want them to do one thing, they want to do something else. Or there's a choice of options. Could do this, could do that. You want them to do one thing. Could be a difference in opinion, and you might be wanting to win out and get them to do what it is that you want to do. I don't know. It feels like someone's got options here. There could be distance involved, because it's about plans that you've got. Like they were planning on coming to see you or something like that, and you want them to come and see you, but they might be going somewhere else instead, and like conflict, something like that. So the plans that you had with someone, perhaps they've got different options now, and you might be kind of wanting to take control and get them to do what it is that you want them to do. How do things appear on the surface of it? Queen of Pentacles, like you're in this strong position, you're the stable one kind of thing, you've got something to offer. Queen of Pentacles, what's really behind that? What's really behind that? So you might have more stability than your person at the moment. What's really behind that is kind of waiting for them to come. Three of Wands. It's waiting for them to arrive. Okay, so it appears that you're stable. You might actually be a bit stagnant at the moment because you're waiting for them to arrive. You might have been putting things in your life on hold for these plans that you've got with them. It appears that you've got stability, and perhaps that might be why you want them to come your way. And that might not be a bad thing. I'm just going to sort that spider out there in case it bites the cat. That's the last thing she needs, is one of those biting her. It was like one mini scorpion. I thought it was, not a spider. They look like jumping spiders, but they're not, and they've got a nasty bite or sting or whatever it is. Nice save there. Okay. What was I saying? Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So it appears that you're in this stable position, but you might be putting things off because you've been waiting for them. Three of Wands, definitely kind of waiting for them. But with this Five of Swords, there's kind of a feeling like you might want to control things, and that's what's working against you. That's what's crossing you, kind of wanting your way. Okay, recent past then. What's going on in the recent past? So it feels like I'm reading for someone here where you're at a distance from each other and you've had plans to see each other, to come together in some kind of a way. Whoop. Recent past, Eight of Pentacles. So both having invested in this and it's kind of paying off. So you've been kind of growing this, perhaps from a distance, perhaps messaging each other, and then it's gone to like video calls, and you know, you're both investing time in this. So it feels like a progression kind of thing, and perhaps time to see each other now. Near future energies. Near future energies. Two of Cups, love offer. And the King of Wands, them making, yeah, so that's their energy, the King of Wands, them making a move and giving a love offer. You've got a love offer coming in. Someone that coming in, King of Wands, to claim you kind of thing. Someone that chooses you and is a definite move kind of thing on you. So you've got that coming. It's good news. So this reading is about the Three of Pentacles. It's about your plans with this person. What else is it about? What else is this reading about? The Five of Cups. Five of Cups is about focusing on what you've missed out on rather than on what you've still got. Or what you focusing on what isn't happening rather than what is happening. You've got the Four of Wands as well. This very well could be someone that you'll settle down with, because the Four of Wands card is, it's like a strong structure, and as such it's often about marriage as well. It can lead to marriage because of that, but it's about really firm foundations, especially if this one's true for you, this Eight of Pentacles in the past. Talking to each other, and then it's you've invested a little bit more of like video calling each other, and it's progressing like that, and that investment needs to carry on, right, for those solid foundations. But what is this? The Five of Cups. It's like a focus on what has been lost. It's like a pessimistic kind of a card, that a pessimism, focusing on, well, perhaps the plans are going to go awry, meaning perhaps they are going to choose another choice, but even if they choose that, I feel that you can still grow this toward what it is that you want. You don't need to be pessimistic about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you might think that them coming to you now is the next logical step, and that's the way it should happen, and that you've lost something if it doesn't. But perhaps the next step is not that. Perhaps the next step is investing a little bit more in each other, but not the whole thing straight away. Do you know what I mean? Because the Queen of Pentacles, this is saying you're the stable one, but what's really behind that is like, no, you're stagnant and you're just kind of waiting. So there could be like a progression toward each other. There might be more steps to go, is what I'm saying, more investment to go before you actually come together. Okay, so what are your fears? What are your fears? If your person needs to make a move to get more stability first, then they might move somewhere else to get that stability first, and then be able to come at you with this love offer. They might need the that to get that stability in themselves first. So the fears are the feminine version of the Emperor, which means like you being in the masculine energy, you being in the divine masculine energy, you being the one that does the masculine thing. So perhaps the one that provides, you know, what does the masculine do? The masculine is a protector, the provider, and things like that. So you might be stepping into that role, Queen of Pentacles to that Emperor kind of a role, rather than letting them step into that masculine role for you. But you could be afraid that that's what's going to happen. Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. Nine of Wands is like, yeah, it's a wounded warrior. It's like you've been hurt before, kind of expecting to be hurt again, not sure that this is going to work out. There's definite pessimism about this. I'm picking up in your energy here. Perhaps you think that's a healthy pessimism and realism kind of thing. What are your hopes? Six of Cups, reminiscing. It's a very nostalgic kind of a card, the Six of Cups. It's kind of dreamy. It's kind of getting together and talking over the past and what went before and that kind of thing, reminiscing. Not those cards. Hopes. Hopes. There we go. Two of Pentacles, weighing up your options. It's deliberating. It's like hoping to, you know, have a pros and cons list and talk about things and balance it all up and kind of make a decision. Two of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles and then have a plan, you know. So it feels like you've already done that kind of deliberating kind of thing and then a plan has been made, but it feels like that plan has been disrupted and a new plan needs to be made. So you're hoping like to have those deliberations again and to kind of weigh things up again from where you're at right now. So let's get your outcome cards out. So I'm going to get six or seven outcome cards out so that we've got a progression. I'm going to be revealing the first one to you in this reading, which is already out there. And the rest of them in the deeper dive read. Holy crap. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. What next? Woo! Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. And then one more, please. Okay. At first you might be disappointed with this, but it's got a good ending. It's got a good ending, this one. So, 6 outcome cards there, but the first one, the first of the 7 is 10 of Swords, painful ending. So something that you thought was going to happen isn't going to happen. It's going to cause pain. I'm not saying the end of the relationship. I'm not feeling it's that at all. I'm feeling like it's more the end of like that plan or whatever it is, and that is going to cause pain to you. So it's going to be like, ouch at first. But you've got a good ending here. So if you want to find out what that is, and I'll also be getting cards out from these decks back here for guidance for you as well. We'll find out what's going on with your person too, get some message cards out from them too. Then you might want to get that deeper dive read. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, your promotions folder. Check those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the shell on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into a draw, as we'll get in that deeper dive read as well into another draw. So you've got 2 chances to win one of those private readings with me. And so if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive for even more, then I will see you in there very shortly.